Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Arlene Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and the Middle East every Monday to Thursday. You can view us on Facebook on our page at Lottel Site. While you are there, please join our growing community by liking or following us and sharing our content. And we are also on YouTube. We have a channel at the Israel Brief. And all you have to do is click on the red subscribe button to receive your daily edition. So let's get into those top stories before we head off into the weekend. And we begin with news that the Prime Minister has cancelled his trip to the United Arab Emirates. The Prime Minister was meant to depart today for this historical trip, which would be the first of an Israeli premier following the Abraham Accords, which were signed last year. Now, there are two reasons cited for this. The first is that the Prime Minister's wife, Sarah Netanyahu, is in hospital with an infection in her appendix, but also follows a diplomatic spat with Jordan. Relations between Israel and Jordan have been tense of late, and Defense Minister Benny Gantz, who is also the chairman of the Blue and White Party, blames this largely on Prime Minister Netanyahu. But this follows a diplomatic incident that happened yesterday. The Crown Prince of Jordan was scheduled to visit the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, and apparently he arrived with more bodyguards than was allowed or authorized, and the additional bodyguards were turned away. This resulted in the Crown Prince leaving and has resulted in a little bit of a diplomatic spat, which we really hope will be sorted out soonest. In other news, staying in the region, and Yahya Sinwar has been re-elected as the leader of Hamas. This follows elections held by secret ballot over the last couple of days. And we head off into the weekend with some really good news. The IDF, the Israel Defense Forces, reported earlier today that they are the first military and first large organization in the world to achieve herd immunity. 81% of the IDF has been vaccinated, and there have been 0 deaths as a result of the coronavirus. They also report 22 vaccination stations all across the country. So to our IDF, to our brave soldiers, we salute you for this incredible achievement in helping combat coronavirus. In other great news, the Health Ministry announced today that they are debating opening amusement parks and stadiums to about 3,000 people. Also reported is that at least 600 at-risk children have been vaccinated without any side effects. So we are starting to see this move to people who are younger, and it really looks like we will be headed towards Passover or Pesach without having to go into lockdown or further restrictions. This is really welcome news, as over the last year, like many of you around the world, we haven't been able to meet with our family for religious events. So this would really be welcome. So great news to head off into the weekend. But if you're looking for some reading material, don't forget to check out our website online at www.layoftheland.online. I've told you about our Facebook page at Lottel Site. Check in with us tomorrow to see where in the country we are for Shabbat. Don't forget our YouTube channel at the Israel Brief, and interact with us on Twitter at layoftheland5. So with the last edition of the Israel Brief for the week, I'm Arlene Marks, wishing you a safe and a healthy weekend. Have a well-deserved rest. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll meet again on Monday.